everybody out there. My name is Eric Gales. I'm a native of Memphis, Tennessee. I currently reside in Minnesota. And I'm here basically because of the new get together with me and Xotic and some of the materials that they make that I am now currently using. And what you see here in my hand is the Xotic guitar XS-1. This is a Lake Placid blue. And I was asked the question a little bit earlier, what is the difference that I noticed about this guitar? And it's really not, and my answer was, it's really not the difference, it's the similarities that I noticed about it. So what I mean by that is the similarities of what I'm looking for is the comfortability, and that's what I'm familiar with. And I like my action pretty close to the neck. I like to have a half a step pull back, which I'll give some examples of here in just a little bit. And I'm always been a fan of rosewood necks. I like maples too, but I'm more partial to rosewood necks. And hey, it's just from what I gather about them, I just recently found out about them. They're fairly high-end guitars. I got a few friends that play them, like Chris Duarte and a few other people. But I was approached and asked to try it out, and I was like, man, I kind of like it. I like the tone, and it coincides really well with my two rocks, which I have back here. They're my own personal Eric Gales models that the guys over there, Bill and Joe. That's that on that, and I have other assortment of things that I use, such as the Bob Bradshaw Crybaby by Dunlap, the brick that they use to power everything. I use Tech 21 as my delay, and I run all of that into the strip with this just regular average tuner. I don't even know what kind it is. I think it's a Korg or something, but it gets the point. As long as it tunes the guitar, that gets the job done. Basically, all I'm gonna be doing is just going through, there's nothing really predicted out. I'm just letting it roll, and this is the best way that I know to do it. And then just, through example of me doing what I'm doing is gonna give you an example of how I like to intertwine and mesh and go back and forth between multiple different tones at any given moment. So, if you want any kind of idea about the thought process behind that, I really don't think about it, man. The best thing for me to do is not to think about it, and it flows a whole lot smoother that way. Now, what we have here, I always like to have my delay going on in a very slow. If I got that, I'm very cool. And it has a tap tempo where I can tap it in and out, or whatever tempo the song is. So, that coincided with, I really like how my clean tone is. And as you're listening at everything, notice the way the pickup placement here is kind of like a variation of how I like them. Sometimes I like them really close to the neck, close to the strings, but my back pickup I'm always have a little bit harder than the other ones. And this is on any guitar that you may see me utilize, and this is pretty much the setup that I like to use. But right now, I'm basically giving an example of the things and the tonality that I like about this Xotic guitar here. And in explaining that, I like the back pickup a little bit harder than the rest of them because when I go back to that, I'm intending for it to get really high intense. So when I step back to it, I really like it to, give it that twang, and that's kind of how I look at it. You just got like a spectrum of, you got really smooth and deep, like. Got that, just a little bit more smooth. More Stevie Ray Vaughan. I just labeled these two pickups as the Stevie Ray Vaughan tone because it's basically, he kind of took that tone. I mean, others were using it definitely. I mean, that tone was around way before Stevie Ray Vaughan, but for some reason, he was the influence to me that made me label the sound of these outer phase two pickups the Stevie Ray tone because he just, I listen at that tone, I'm like, I always compare it to, wow, it's like Stevie Ray. So whenever I got a grin on my face about any type of instrument that I may be playing, and I'm feeling the tone and things are coming out and eyes may roll back, that means that I'm really in my zone. And just going on through, and this is a really good rhythm pickup here. And sometimes I call myself staying on that pickup, but it's just natural for me to just go back and forth all the time, and I'm not thinking about it. And this is like the. More of the country where. Ha! A little country western for you there. But, I just, and then back. So, I mean, I don't find the need to have a whole lot of stuff. I'm always been a fan of, you can have a lot of this stuff to facade hiding what it is that you got coming out of straight that amp and just straight this guitar. I've always been an advocate if it could be a Sears Silvertone and a pig nose amp. If that's all you got, then you got to bring it on. It ain't no sound effects, no nothing. Can you still sound like what you sound like if you had no effects at all and you just had straight amp and guitar? So these are only enhancements and not an embellishment, but an enhancement of what I feel like I naturally try to be the connection from the guitar and the amp. And this is only stuff to enhance it. Definitely Xotic is one of my main guitars that you'll more likely see in my roster amongst quite a few others now. I mean, quite a few others, but this is about Xotic right now. And it is definitely one that you'll be seeing in my live performance. Definitely be used on a good bit of the recordings that I have. And if you had to get my opinion on whether you should go out and get you one, yeah, I think so.